All right, Rich, so just want to show you again a few lighter options that you can do with both chest, shoulder workouts. This can be an entire workout of kind of a light day if you're feeling a little achy. I'd love to see if you're gonna have 2 chest days, 2 shoulder days in your week. You know, one is kind of that, hey, gung ho, let's go for it. One day is a little more light, mobility, rehabby, feel good kind of a workout. Turn on the Beach Boys instead of Metallica for that workout, but or you can always play a little bit of both sides. You know, given chest day, given work day, you might have 8 exercises, but only 2 or 3 of those are going to be let's go for it, and the rest can be a little bit more light, and you can kind of do that on both days. Your call, but just not everything has to be 100%. Okay, so chest options again, band push-ups, right? You got here, crossover. I like holding one and really having to push hard across the body. That's a great way to kind of get some muscle pump, but it's nice on the tendons, and you're not going to overstretch or hurt anything this way. Showed you earlier one band push-ups is also a great way to, if doing 2 hands is not enough intensity, you can always turn this into, a one-handed variety. Right, the band just makes it a little bit more challenging, but again, who's to say you can't just start doing some push-ups like this, still get a great chest workout, but you're not throwing the same weights and the same bars around, right? Love that. I don't know if you know what a Sven press is. I've always liked this for kind of a finishing move, just a nice little chest pump right down the middle here. Get to do a little Mr. Miyagi here. You're pushing hard into the weight, pushing, as well as extending. Doesn't really matter how much the weight is. I do this with 5s, 10s. Do it at 25s, pretty stinking hard. Add a little twist if you want. Get some of those upper fibers going. That's a killer move. Aim high, aim low. Do some sweeps. As long as you're pressing them together, chest is on. Great option there. Good little burn without any shoulder issues happening there. Apologize, let me grab my list here real quick. I wanted to talk about push-ups. So, obviously, I'm a big fan of push-ups, whether you're doing them on the bars. I like elevated. I want you to consider adding a little bit more pushing in, but watch your hand technique. We know that anytime that you are in a pronated grip, palm down, that turns your shoulder into internal rotation. That's where you have your pinch. So maybe try underhand or supinated push-ups. That's going to put your shoulder in a much happier externally rotated position. And then from here you can really beat up that chest, and your shoulder will be a little bit happier about it. So push-ups from there. Again, push-ups, there's tons of variety right here. Get here, get some leans. You can go wide. I'll start doing some one arm, where I like doing like a twist at the top. Again, make easy stuff feel hard. It's kind of the name of the game. That way we're not always having to throw a lot of weight at it. Obviously, you did really good flies today. Today we only had 15s doing that, right? But I think you've proven that you have good chest, pec, range of motion, so it can handle this load here. So I think a nice couple light sets of fly would be great to really work on just general chest mobility. Again, you can always kind of single that if you'd like. Get one holding down low position while you do your singles. A great stretch that way. So put more flies, whether that's dumbbell or cable, into your routine. I think that'll really help a lot. Just kind of your general shoulder mechanics. And then the last one I had was TRX. So again, I know you're not going to spend a ton of time on these kind of bad boys, but if we're just looking for, hey, a good way to get a good pump without pissing off the shoulder too much, again, underhand's good. Sorry, can't see me here. Underhand pushes. You can go wide and kind of get your flies going. You get down here and just hang out, hang, and push. Remember that workout we did a while back, that one of our first ones? Hang, then push. Make that muscle work hard even during the rest phases. So Again, bands, light dumbbells, benches, ropes, plates. You have more options for your chest than just pushing those bars and dumbbells around. For shoulders, had a few here. Obviously, we did that here today. You know I love full range of motion work whenever we can. So these lateral raises, this is not a step down to picking some light weight and doing these full ranges. Honestly, you give me 10 to 15 really slow, really methodical, full range of motion raises. Man, you might have 5s or 10s, and you're gonna be cooked, I promise you. Now, again, watch those hands. When you are, even this grip, even neutral here, kind of gets you into that chicken wing mode, right? So rotate up, do it that way for now, all right? Nothing where you automatically rotate that hand in and get in that chicken wing is gonna feel good here while you're in this sore phase. Again, 2 months from now, man, I hope you're doing any lift you wanna do, whenever, wherever. But right now we need some isolated extra rotation whenever we can. Kind of, again, mimic how we did that muscle stimulator today. Arm like that is always gonna be a better position for you than arm down. I'm talking too much, sorry. I use this one a lot. I'll get a weighted bar. Let me get you back here. I'll get a weighted bar. This will be a light shoulder day, you know, and just do full range of motion, just like you're doing some dumbbell raises. Full bar. Now, if I want that harder, I'm gonna bend over or be on an incline bench. That is a killer way to give yourself a great shoulder pump and shoulder workout with very light weight. This is only about a 25-pound bar, and it's gonna humble me pretty quickly. And then as that gets easier, or excuse me, as I start failing, it gets harder, then I stand up, guess what? Now, hey, I got a new lease on life, I can do 15 more reps. So play around with that. Don't be afraid to get into that 25, 30, 40 rep range with these lighter weights. And the muscles will still get the pump and get the growth, I promise. Let's see here. Obviously, like reverse flies. We talked about, you know, mix, if you're doing a chest day, maybe mix in some reverse flies, some bent over, just to kind of, again, wake up that cuff. I like this, but I also really like that single cable move we've been doing here. Those are very similar, and they're pretty interchangeable if you ask me. I had a couple more. Obviously pike push-ups, you know, getting on the bench or just bending over and doing some face push-ups. If you can do this on some bars or even just holding dumbbells, you get a little more depth. That'll be nice for that shoulder. Like, same rules. If you're a little pinchy doing it like that, turn up, externally rotate your shoulder, and you'll have a little less pinchy with that. Last one I have here, I'm a big fan of, I've heard it called a few different things. I think Viking presses is the one I've always kind of used. So you're doing your overhead work, but instead of doing normal pronated presses like we would here, you're going to rotate and do them like that. None of this Arnold press bullshit where you rotate while you're going up. That is the exact opposite of what we need out of you right now, because again, that takes you from a happy position, crunch it down into an impingement position. We don't want that. We want to stay in this range here. That keeps that stress in your anterior delt. Great way to isolate those anterior delts without putting too much strain on them, because your shoulder is still in an externally rotated position. This is a great one, man. Hell, turn that right into curls. Turn that right into some low raises. For that'll kick your butt. Again, I'm still eventually I love dips. I'm still kind of off dips. If you think about the way a barbell dip works, you're in here, you're still kind of in that pinchy mode. I'd be okay with an externally rotated dip, you know, something like this. But I still think you have plenty of options before we have to even uncover that, or if ever. So again, there's 4 or 5 options for the chest. I really like the spin presses. I like the band push-ups. Again, just get a pump. Get a pump. Save the growth days for every once in a while, right? Pick your battles. Think about if you're a marathon runner, if you're training for distance, they don't run balls out every time, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, they're running easy pace, 8 to 10 miles, chilling, talking, having conversations, guess what? Thursday they go for it. So I want you to have a little more of that, like, it's okay to have a B+ training day because it gets you ready for the A+ training day. Good luck, man.